Dear students, in continuation of the chapter Madam Rides the Bus, today we will start third part of the chapter. Her first journey, what careful, painstaking, elaborate plans she had to make for it. She had thriftily saved whatever stray coins came her way, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons and the like, and finally she had saved total of 60 paise. See, that was her first journey and she had saved those 60 paise almost stealing way. Whatever coins were coming in her way, she was saving them. And she was reducing the temptation, the greed to purchase peppermints, toys, balloons. Generally, children are tempted to purchase all these things. But she suppressed that desire and could save those 60 paise for this bus journey. How difficult it had, particularly that day at the village fair. But she had resolutely, meaning firm determination, stifled a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round even though she had the money. She went in a village fair, but their merry-go-round she wanted to enjoy. She had money even, but it was very difficult to suppress that desire for this journey. After she had enough money saved, her next problem was how to slip out of the house without her mother's knowledge. When she could save money, the next problem which came in front of her was to went out from house without being noticed by her mother. But she managed this without too much difficulty. Every day after lunch, her mother would nap meaning short sleep, from about 1 or 4 or so. Wali always used these hours for her excursions as she stood looking from the doorway of her house, or sometime even ventured out into the village. Today, these same hours could be used for her first excursion outside the village. Though it was not very difficult for her to slip out from her house, because every day during afternoon time it was her mother's habit to go and sleep. And that time generally she used to come out at her doorway and have an excursion of village. But this time she had decided to have walk of her even outside the village. That bus journey she is going to plan at that time. She was thinking all these things while sitting in the bus. The bus rolled on, now cutting across a bare landscape, now rushing through a tiny hamlet, meaning village, or past an odd wayside shop. Now the bus was moving and all the things whatever were visible from bus are described. A small village is described here and some shops. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of gobbling up another vehicle that was coming towards them, or a pedestrian, meaning one who is walking on foot, crossing the road. So at times Wali thought that her bus would have the bus will gobble with the buses, with the people, those who are coming from the opposite direction. They would have a hard crash. But lo, somehow it passed on smoothly, leaving all obstacles safely behind. But everybody passed very softly, very smoothly, leaving every obstacles behind. Trees came running towards them, but then stopped as the bus reached them, and simply stood there helpless for a moment by the side of the road before rushing away in the other direction. From the viewpoint of a child's first journey, the scenes are described. She is thinking that the trees were running, but the moment bus reached at their point, they stopped. Suddenly Wali clapped her hand with glee, meaning happiness. A young cow, tail high in the air, was running very fast, right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. Suddenly Wali started clapping happily. because she noticed a cow was running in front of the bus only. The bus slowed to a crawl and the driver sounded his horn loudly again and again. But the more he honked, the more frightened the animal became, and the faster it galloped, always right in front of the bus. Now, the driver was giving a high horn just to remove the cow from its front, but the moment the cow was listening, the sound of horn, it came in front of the bus. Somehow this was very funny to Wali. It was not clear why Wali was so happy, but it seemed very funny for her. She laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. She laughed so much to see the bus that tears started rolling from her eyes. "Hey lady, haven't you laughed enough?" called the conductor. "Better save some for tomorrow." The conductor noticed extraordinary laughter of the girl, so he said, "Dear lady, you had enough laughter for today. Now save some for tomorrow." At last, the cow moved off the road, and soon the bus came to a railroad crossing. A speck of a train could be seen in the distance, growing bigger as it drew nearer. Now the cow moved, and the bus was passing from the side of a railway crossing, where the bus stopped because the train was coming. So now the train, which was becoming bigger and bigger as it was coming near to the bus, it is described. Then it rushed past the crossing gate with a tremendous roar and rattle, shaking the bus. When it passed from the side of bus, it gave a lots of shaking and noise. Then the bus went on and passed the train station. Then bus crossed the railway crossing. From there it travelled a busy, well-laid out shopping street and turning entered a wider thoroughfare. Now a big fair had come. Big shops have started coming up. It means they had reached the town. Such big, bright-looking shops, what glittering displays of clothes and other merchandise, such big crowds. So Wali was infatuated to see all these things for sale, so busy roads, such a big shops, because first time she was coming from her village, so she had seen all these big shops, big stalls, big fair first time, so she was extremely excited to see everything. Struck dumb with wonder. It was a wonderful sight for her. Wali gaped at everything. Wali was looking everything with astonishment. Then the bus stopped and everyone got off except Wali. Now the bus stop came, everybody got down but Wali not. Thank you.